success, I think, sometimes, especially when you're dealing with headpieces and hats and you've got dancers twisting their heads, most of the time I'm just happy it didn't fall off. I did Kylie with the Commonwealth Games, and she had the biggest headpiece on in the world. And she's a very petite lady, and it was a very windy day. And I thought, this is the biggest event I'm ever going to do, and I'm going to watch her be blown off stage with the hat. So most of it is relief. Being creative, you cross so many different disciplines. I used to always get told, don't be a jack of all trades, master of none. But I actually feel that if you're a good creative or have an imagination, then it can span everything. The vocation that I do is maybe millinery, but myself, I'm a creative. I'm not just a milliner. I was kind of like a massive nerd, so for the majority of my school years, I didn't really understand what the benefit was of having a large social network. I was just like, I'm going to go and work in the art room on a lunchtime, on a break time. That's what I'll be. So I was quite a driven child. Like, I was totally and utterly driven, but I thought I was going to be a fine artist. I did my foundation year in Hull, and when I graduated from Leeds University, I came back to Hull, where I'd kind of worked part-time as a waitress since I was 18, really. And wasn't really able to get a job that was related to fine art. Now in Hull, it's thriving, so I didn't know what I was going to do. When you're studying different subjects, you can be very pigeonholed. We're told about maths and English and maybe fine art and maybe textiles, but a lot of students don't know about the areas in between those subjects. And so when I go back, I try and talk to them about all the other disciplines that I work in myself, but the people that I meet as well, so that they can maybe have a broader idea of the different vocations that I didn't have necessarily when I finished school. Even if you don't come from a background of a great deal of money or support, I'm kind of always very real to them about it. The fact that it takes a lot of personal sacrifice, an idea about what I do, and trying to encourage them, give them a sense that there's a future for them if they stay focused and that they can be like you, or they'll be able to achieve something like you. I've always really found my biggest satisfaction when I feel useful to other people. My work gives me drive to kind of get up every day because it makes me happy, because it makes me feel like I have purpose and that people appreciate what I do. I find relating to other people a little bit hard because I'm so in my headspace in a way. For the lack of my abilities in a social kind of sense, I will create something, and that in itself I'm doing something for them. And so whenever people appreciate the things that I make and the work that I do, I can communicate with other people through the objects. I live for it. I don't really see it as a job. I see it as just like breathing. It's like lifeblood to me, really.